come up with an idea of sequestering the greenhouse gases on planets like Mars and Venus. Particularly, when I was thinking of this invention, I was thinking of Venus because it's got a pretty thick atmosphere with a very high concentration of greenhouse gases. The way I envision this invention is for it to be somewhat large scale. So something like this could easily be the size of half a football field. And one component that I forgot to add to this initial layout or particular, I guess this particular series or version of the invention is a module for helium. I guess you could say that the actual electrical component are somewhere within the actual body itself, and this would be the helium. But yeah, also like this, actually, this is my first time using Blender, so I think I did all right. Just watching stuff on YouTube and a lot of trial and error. So yeah, so the way it works is right now there's like a three-stage or three particular components for the actual invention. You have the actual scrubbers. So this is like where the greenhouse gases are going to be sucked in from. They are then going to be passed to a module where the actual carbon is sequestered. What's going to happen to the actual carbon that's sequestered is a good question. I have some ideas around that as well, but I figured it would be too much if I tackled the whole thing in one go. Like I said, it's my first time using Blender, so I had no idea what I was doing. I started with making a blimp, but then it started like you can like move this stuff around. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of looking like it was got a UFO-ish thing to it. But the thing was, I was thinking like you can actually use both wind and solar, particularly at in a place like Venus where so the Earth's spin rate, like this actual spin rate for Earth is 24 hours, give or take. Sorry, I gotta close this. But the actual spin rate for Venus on its own axis is really slow. So we're talking about like 293 days or something like that for Venus to spin on its axis. Now, if one of these one of these puppies happen to be on the dark side of Venus, then you need wind power, right? And that's why I was thinking that you could have like a dual kind of a model whereby, so if I zoom in here, if I really zoom in, you'll notice that there are solar panels here. The rendering didn't work as I was expecting, so I kind of textured the actual surface with solar panels, and I was trying to like showcase that it's going to be covered with solar panels. Yeah, like I said, it didn't work as expected, so hopefully one of my friends with Blender expertise can come in here, or I can maybe get some help from someone. But yeah, so when the sun is out and it happens to be on the sunny side of a particular planet. By the way, I don't think this is a good idea to have a whole bunch of these on Earth for a variety of reasons. First of all, it may fall on somebody and really hurt them. Even if we had like a lot of these tiny ones floating about, still don't think it's a good idea because they're gonna suck up like potential. Like it depends what altitude is actually floating at, but it could suck up insects and other creatures, and insects are already getting depleted really fast all around the world. I don't think it was actually on one of the top accessible pages for Wikipedia, but I don't think it's like with the whole host of other issues, it's not like an issue that is actually in the wider cognition. But anyways, so coming back to the invention, oh yeah, one of the things I was thinking, like, this is going to be, I didn't get a chance to like duplicate them, but if this was the scale model, why do I have these puppies in here. How do you do this? Edit mode, select, delete. Sorry. Work with me, work with me. No, that's not a word. It's actually a black. Anyways, I'm gonna figure out the background image later. What I was thinking, like you'd have a whole bunch of these, like in a daisy chain kind of, not daisy chain, but like a swarm kind of a model, and there would be like another thing I was thinking was you could have a thruster, like just a, like it's floating in an atmosphere. You don't need like some fancy thrusters, just like a regular air thruster would do. And the benefit of having a thruster would be that if you have like a potential collision, that a prospect of a collision happening between two of these, then the thrusters would kick in and hopefully, you know, they would kind of go their own separate ways. Because we don't want these things colliding, even though you could mass produce them pretty cheaply. So yeah, I spoke about the intake, the sequester. So like if you notice there's like cavities here. So like I mentioned, if it does happen to be on the dark side of the planet, then the wind power would kick in. So there's going to be a turbine here, which is going to get the energy going. So hopefully by the time we are, by the time these things are getting launched, materials are, I'm just trying to like see what view is best. I think this is the best view because it kind of showcases the, there's like, the designs are a lot like super intricate. I haven't done the fluid dynamics or anything like that because like I said, this is my first time using Blender. So totally open to collaborate with others, but this is the way I envision it. Like gravity is going to be acting this way, so I guess you could have these pointing like any direction, but yeah, swarm, 3 components, thrusters not included right now. Daisy, yeah, dual sources of power at the very least, solar and wind. Yeah, I did not talk about how the sequestered stuff is going to be extracted. I have some ideas around that. Not good for Earth. It's ideal for a place like Venus, maybe Mars. I'm not sure. Mars's atmosphere is kind of thin, so I don't know. Well, they got like NASA's got a helicopter floating. Which I always wondered why doesn't NASA? Like many years ago, I shared somewhere on I think the Singularity Hub, there should be a helicopter-based like discovery element to sending stuff to like in Mars. But Venus's atmosphere is pretty thick, and we can totally have a whole bunch of these floating in there, not just doing surveys and whatnot, but actually sequestering carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases that we can send it to Mars. All right, so this is my short video about this. It's actually probably my first space-based invention, so I feel a sense of accomplishment. I think it took me like 2 hours to do this, an hour and a half, including the time to watch the tutorials on YouTube. And yeah, I'm just wowed with what you can do with, I've tinkered a little bit with AutoCAD, but I have never actually, even though I installed Blender and I uninstalled it, I've never actually tinkered with it. So I'm really happy the way that this has turned out. Yeah, thanks for watching, and shout out to my friend Ryan who wanted to help out. I'm gonna take you up on that offer, man. We should totally hack away at Blender and like come up with like crazy inventions now and in the future. Thanks, buddy. All right, guys. Anyone else, welcome to join as well. So open call to anyone who would like to work on making cool stuff now and in the future. All right, have a great day. Bye, everyone. Bye.